I've been a pretty big fan of visual novels for a while now. There are a lot of good ones that I've played over the years. The Ace Attorney games, Danganronpa, Hotel Dusk, Clannad, Little Busters, Katawa Shoujo, Lucid 9, Lily's Day Off, Sepia Tears, Sounds of Her Love, Doki Doki Literature Club, the KFC one. Wait, there's a KFC one. An official KFC one. Oh no. I believe a lot of us are on the same page here. I'm sure we're all wondering why this even exists. It's not some fan-made game that someone obsessed with greasy fried chicken decided to make. It's an actual official KFC dating simulator. I'm not even making this up. This game's been out for a while, but I'm only now getting to it because f*** you, I can't get to everything when it first comes out. I don't even know what the story behind its development is. I'm sure it was a marketing thing, but even then, I still have to ask why it's a thing. Is there anyone out there that wanted to date Colonel Sanders that badly? The guy's been dead for years. Let the man rest. And after questioning why God let humanity live this long, I decided to do what any sane person would do. And that's play it, because I want to see where it goes. And there are going to be some spoilers. Alright, time to see if it's any good. Damn it! On my main computer it just ran like crap, so I had to move over to my laptop to play it. Congratulations, KFC! You've succeeded in making a visual novel that runs like piss on my machine, despite being less than a gigabyte in file size, when Danganronpa V3, which is more than 20, ran fine! I don't know what the issue was, but it ran fine on my laptop. Except the opening, that kept freezing. Let's see. Continue and load. What's the difference? Okay, my entire life has been leading up to this point, so let's finally do this! The first thing the game has you do is enter your name, and thank God I know what my name is. And now, excuse me? Is this a game where I date the Colonel, or is it just a game where I sit still and watch fried chicken and biscuits move across the screen? So, when we start up, we start in bed, and it's the first day of culinary school, which only lasts 3 days apparently. It doesn't take too long to get to the first choice, which is either to get your ass out of bed, or throw your alarm clock out the window. You know what? I've been getting up at 5 in the morning for the past several days. I'm gonna get some sleep for once. You slept through the school year and gave up on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet Colonel Sanders. This far into the game, and we're already at a game over. I had to lie down and think about my life after this. Okay, no more messing around, time to go to school. When you make it there, you're greeted by your longtime best friend Miriam. Game, you're a liar, I have no friends! According to the game, she's the most adorably awkward person you've ever met. She seems to like to go on and on about things, and also seems to be kinda hard on herself. The two of you will run to your rival Ashley, who thinks she's better than everyone else, and her piece of friend, Van the Man. Who wrote this? Looks like it was somebody named Alexei Bochenek? Jesus, how do you pronounce that? Those two assholes are all about getting in your way, but enough about those terrible people. By the front door is some kid going by Pop, who says he was named after his dad, who's actually named Bob. So yeah, this kid's slow. Moving on to class, and our teacher is a dog named Sprinkles. What kind of drugs were the creators of this visual novel on? And can I have some? Other students make their way into the room, including an unnamed student that everyone chooses to ignore half the time, a robot named Clink, and the man the whole thing is about, Colonel Sanders himself. At first, he seems to be a pretty nice guy, and the main character seems to really admire him. When you're asked where you want to sit, you can either sit by your best friend or the Colonel. You know what, I'm a nice guy, so I'll sit next to the friend I don't actually have. And then the doggo professor asks some questions. Some of these were obvious and the rest were interesting. Is Sprinkles a good boy? Hell yeah, Sprinkles is the best boy! Good lord, I cannot believe this is a thing. When lunchtime comes, the Colonel prepares some chicken for everyone, which most of them seem to like. Soon it's time for some alone time with the Colonel, who tells me his secret ingredient. And it's censored. It's isn't it? I'm sure that's the joke, but my perverted boy brain is going to assume the worst. He ends up talking some more, and I decide to be nice to him. For the afternoon lesson, everyone gets in a cooking arena to make some stuff. The main character is quick to ask Colonel Sanders to be their partner, leaving poor Miriam alone. You end up having to choose between Pop and Clink to be your partner. So working together with Colonel Sanders, I have to pick something to make. KFC has mashed potatoes, right? Why don't I do that? That makes the most sense to me. I don't actually like mashed potatoes. They turn out fine, but Van literally killed a man with his food. If I see this man out on the streets, I'm calling 911. And the dead student became a ghost. But nobody cares, so we finish up the cooking stuff and head outside where we find, good lord, what the is that? You have to do this weird battle with this abomination, and it ends with the Colonel stepping in and helping finish the job. Oh yeah, and I guess I passed out and ended up with Colonel Sanders taking me home. The next day, Miriam is the same as ever, going on, and you know, maybe it was a mistake to say the Colonel told me his secret ingredient. It's supposed to be a secret, so I lied. Like a liar. And then Colonel Sanders shows up on a horse. On a horse? A horse! A horse! Okay, am I even supposed to be taking any of this seriously? Because this game seems to give zero about what it does. So the second day of class, the rivals are still being dicks. And when class starts for real, I guess I'm too busy dreaming about the Colonel to pay attention and zone out, and then I get a few items shoved in my face. A glass of water, a pepper, and a dog treat. I took the pepper, and Sprinkles was upset because it was the last of its kind to exist. Well, how was I supposed to know that? And if it's the last of its kind, why have it out in the open like that? Shouldn't it be, you know, protected? Also, it's a f***ing pepper. It's food. What did you think was gonna happen? It'll be fertilizer in a few hours. I'll give it back if you still want it. Lunch soon comes and I end up in a competition with Ashley even though I didn't want one. I got a game over. I tried again and got the Colonel cheering me on and then screwed up and f***ed up my hand in the mixer, so the whole thing had to be called off. After this, I talk with the Colonel about how he's not perfect and has failed many times before. He then invites me over to his house, I show my secret recipe, and then I snoop around to learn more about him, and then suddenly, whoa, Colonel, at least take me out to dinner first. I spend the night at his place and then meet Miriam back home, who was worried she couldn't find me because she wanted to talk about her new boyfriend, Clank the Robot. She tells me about her date, and then it's time for school. The assholes are picking on Pop. After some conversation, I come to realize that it's been hard to focus because all I can think about is Colonel Sanders. And so, using this magic book I conveniently have now, since the Colonel gave it to me the previous night, I'm given a choice on whether or not I want to erase my memory of him. I chose not to, and then our teacher is freaking out over a squirrel like a typical dog would. Oh, and I guess Miriam and Clank break up in the middle of class? So now I gotta try to make her feel better and get ready for the competition being held on the last day of class. I go in early to practice, and the Colonel walks in, and I tell him what I'm doing, and now it's time for the actual competition, and I make mac and cheese, I guess. So in the end, the rivals get disqualified because Van Van's is inedible, and Ashley made hers as a display only. But it's food. You're supposed to eat it. In the end, the Colonel combines some chicken he made with the mac and cheese I made, and the doggo loves it, and passes everyone? So if you make some really good food for your teacher, they'll pass you no matter how you did on your exams. So that's what I've been doing wrong. At the end, it's time for a party where everyone is happy. The Colonel didn't fall in love with me, the dead student was never actually dead, the rivals apparently stopped being such pieces of and Pop was royalty all along or some. In the end, everyone moves on and gets ready for the future, I guess. Honestly, I'm still having a hard time taking all of this in. Here we have an official KFC dating simulator, and it's just full of stuff. A lot of interesting stuff. Being completely honest, it was fun to play through, even if it was for all the wrong reasons. The art is nice, the music is fine, but still, why? Why is this a thing? Even after going through it all, I'm not sure how to comprehend any of it. How should I even feel about its existence? All I know for sure is that this was truly an experience. Now I'm lying awake every night thinking about life. Why are we even here? What is the point in life? Why does this exist? Why do we exist? Who even am I? What even am I? I am so disappointed in humanity.